All right, so today we're talking about one-handed reloading. What happens if your arm gets injured? What happens if your arm gets blown off? What happens if you're having to hold your child back behind you or carry them and your gun goes out of the fight? This is not usually complex stuff, but it's stuff that if you haven't practiced it, chances are under duress, full of adrenaline, you're not going to manipulate these things very well. So practice them with empty guns. Definitely lots of dry fire before you come out to the live range like this and try this. Muzzle awareness and trigger discipline is paramount with these types of movements because you're putting muzzles in a lot of precarious positions. Make sure your range will even allow you to train this stuff. Hopefully they do. We're going to go from there. You saw the way that I prefer with the back of the leg. I like that just because of my body type. There are other methods. One of the most dangerous parts about this is the traversing of the pistol to your weak hand from whatever side your holster's on. Rolling it across your body, if you got sweaty, bloody hands or if you've got a lot of clothes on, that could be difficult. So there are some other ways to do that. Again, do this with an empty gun before you try it with a loaded one. One of the more popular ways is to come down between your legs, depending on your body type, if your ability to bend like this, your knees, your footing, this may or may not work. But once you do that, you've now transitioned from your strong side holster to your weak hand. If you're unable to use your crotches of your body, the inside of your knees, or the back of your leg, you have a gun holder on you. It's your holster. So there's no reason you can't shoot, come back to the holster, make your mag change. I'll show you what that looks like. Now that works if your strong side arm is the arm that's still in the fight and still working. It would make no sense for me to try to take the pistol with my weak hand and somehow get it back into the holster. You're going to want to use one of those other behind the knee, between the leg practices that we showed you. All right, so this time I'm going to reload with the gun between my legs. Here we go. The one thing I don't like about that body position, while it worked and you saw I got the reload done, you don't have very good balance when you're in this position. You've got to put your feet close together, you're squatted down. If you got to do it, you got to do it, if that's the position you're in. If you were in a tight hallway or you had a lot of people around you, trying to herd your kids behind you, this is safe. The one thing I like about this, the muzzle direction. If you're really clamped in here, the muzzle is going between my feet. I wouldn't like a round to discharge into the concrete, but if it did, it's a lot better than pointing in a lot of other directions like with the gun behind the leg. So just pay attention to that muzzle at all times. Some of this stuff looks dangerous. It is. We're working with loaded weapons. This is not something for beginners. Why would anybody ever think about doing these things for a situation beyond an injury? What if you had your child in your hand? Your grandma you were pushing behind you. You were in a very tight hallway. You had a mob of people crushing against you and you were unable to use your other arm. There's all kinds of reasons. The odds of us ever getting in a gunfight are very slim. The odds of ever getting in a gunfight, getting injured, and reloading with one hand are even slimmer yet. But I'd rather know how to do it, or at least have tried it, than not. This is Mickey Schuch with CarryTrainer.com. I appreciate you watching. Subscribe, pass this stuff on to your friends. If you guys have any questions on any of this, or there's something that's been puzzling you, send us an email. We'd love to answer. Maybe we'll do a video on it. Thanks. I lost the mic. From here, how's my hair? Is one-handed holstering, reholstering, one-handed. No, that's not what we're doing. We're rolling all the way around. Make your mag change. I'll show you what that looks like. I gotta set this back up. Let me do that little whole piece one more time. Position back to your shooting. I'll try that again.